Browns lost Luke Whippler, who was in line to be their backup center, to an ankle injury. He'll require surgery. That's the second center the Browns have lost. Andrew Berry was quick to address the position. Browns agreed to a trade with the Seahawks to reacquire Nick Harris, who's been here before. Harris in a 2026 seventh rounder for a 2026 sixth rounder. Nick Harris today talked about being back with the Browns and ready to go quickly.
I got the news, packed up my stuff, got on a red eye, got here this morning at 6. At the walkthrough now, I'm talking to y'all. I'm glad to have a job, have opportunity to come back and just compete in a place I'm comfortable in, and feels good to see all my teammates again and see everybody around the building. So, I can't complain at all.
When did you kind of get the hint that this was a possibility?
2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. I kind of was talking to some people and saw what might happen.
So, Jeff, Conklin was outside with the team, not practicing, but present in team drills. So he's out there for the first day. Still no Jedrick Wills. Posic's the only healthy center that has been here. Now you bring Harris. How concerned do we become about the health of that line at this point?
Well, I mean, you look down, you look at it, and it's August 12th, and the Browns are going to play September 8th. And that's when it all means certainly everything. But to this point, you still have Jedrick Wills and you have Jack Conklin and Shareek Close. It's crazy, and that we're actually going to put it, in this realm. But by Jedrick Wills not being around, I think Jedrick Wills has probably become a ton more appreciated than probably most of the time here. Because if you're going to say, oh, well, I get Wills or I get Conklin, you're going to say you want Jedrick Wills. And it's not a knock on Jack Conklin. It's just that you have DeJuan Jones. You do not have a guy that can go in there and at least give you 75%, 80% of what Jed Wills has. At least they have not shown that yet to this point. The Browns did bring in a tackle or two last week for workouts, so it's certainly a position they're still, approaching and looking at. But, you certainly have to be a tad bit nervous. I mean, your quarterback is taking some hits. He's certainly taking some bumps and bruises. You don't have either of your tackles. You have Posick, certainly. You have Wyatt Teller. You'll have Joel Bitonio. I think bringing back Nick Harris was a smart, easy, logical move. Certainly there was a move made in Seattle, which put Harris further down the depth chart out there in Seattle. He was part of the same draft class as Jedrick Wills, so obviously they have a relationship. I think people forget just how much Nick Harris practiced as the starting center for this team. When they had their first practice after COVID, remember J.C. Treader had just had surgery. So basically Nick Harris was basically the center every day but Friday and Sunday for this team. And then he finally got his opportunity for 2022, 3 plays into it, blew out his knee. Ethan Posick basically took the job and ran with it. But it's almost, it seemed kind of odd. And you see the smile on Nick Harris's, face. It was kind of like, some of these baseball players, these Latin baseball players who can't get over to spring training right away because there's visa issues or whatever. Just seemed like, maybe Nick Harris was basically a late arrival to training camp this year.